Welcome to you. My name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. As you saw in the introduction, I have made myself a lemon water. I am recovering from the candy cane, as Super Daker would say, but I wanted to get a video out for you guys, and this one has been inspired by the comments in my last video reacting to YouTubers dissing my luxury bags, and also from comments on my YouTube community page where I asked you to tell me I'm not alone in the bags that I love, and you did. So many people told me that I had encouraged them to step out of their comfort zone, and I thought about it and went, you know what? It wasn't that I encouraged you to step out of your comfort zone. It was that I encouraged you to step into your comfort zone. And what are the things that kind of stop us from stepping into our comfort zone? And how might I be able to help more people think about it in a more positive way? I received comments that were kind of perplexing, saying, yeah, it's all right for you. You can afford to buy these sorts of bags. I can't afford to buy seasonal bags, so that's why I buy classics. And then I kind of put the two pieces together and went, you know, so it sounds like everybody wants to buy fun pieces, but how we justify buying those things can be really difficult based on our income and the budget that we have to buy these bags. This video, what's it about? It's about stepping into your comfort zone. When you're stepping out of your comfort zone, that means that you're doing things that you're not comfortable with. And for me, that's buying bags that people tell me I should buy that cost a lot of money, because classics cost a lot of money, and then not using them, either being frightened to use them because you'll damage them and then they won't be worth as much, or not using them because they're not your personal style, and they may as well be a trendy piece that was over 20 years ago and sits in the back of your cupboard and doesn't do anything. It's the same argument, trend or classic. If you're spending money on it and you're not using it, it's a waste. So this video is about how do you step into your comfort zone, addressing some of the common problems that we have with being able to do that. One of the comments that came through, and I can paraphrase this because it came through quite a few times, was, well, it's all right for you, Dale. You can afford to buy those seasonal pieces, whereas I can't. That's why I prefer to buy classics. And I'm like, have you seen the price of an Hermes Birkin or Kelly lately? Like, isn't about 15 grand retail here in Australia? A classic flap's like 14,000. My Lady Dior is like 8,000. Like, I don't think classic bags are necessarily a more responsible choice, especially when they've got to be kept in pristine condition for the case that they might be resold later for the same price or potentially a profit. So why are you actually buying it? Buying it to wear it and use it, or buying it to keep for a rainy day, like a Russian oligarch? Like, I don't know. I think if you want to make responsible choices with your money, to echo Cassie Thorpe's sentiments recently, then buy bags that you love and that you're going to wear and enjoy and use. If you're saying, well, I can't do that because I can't afford to buy those bags, that's why I'm buying classics. I think you are looking at it in a totally different way to what I do. All of the bags that I have bought before YouTube, I didn't research. I bought bags that I liked and I used those bags to death, and bring them into your home knowing that you're not going to sell them. And if that's the case, you will be more precise and you'll think more clearly about what you're going to buy, because you're thinking this money's gone forever, right? I'm going to dig out a picture of my Louis Vuitton Speedy. Yeah, it was a classic, but I bought it in white epi. Like, that's not a classic colour. And I can show you what I did to that bag, and before it went to the spa and when it came back, and I'll put those pictures in over me speaking now. I'm only showing you that to say that This is not just me telling you after having 30 odd bags in my collection and buying bags for 10 years. This is where I came from right from the very beginning. I bought this bag. This was one of 2 bags that I had. I had a pre-loved Burberry bag and I had that Louis Vuitton OP Speedy that I spoke about. I wore this all around New York for 10 days in the rain, in the sun. I put an umbrella in it. I put a bottle of water in it. I wore it crossbody. I wore this thing and it made me happy. And when I spent $3,500 at the time on this bag, which was a lot of money, the most I'd ever spent on a bag, it never occurred to me to think about what could I sell that bag for and what I would need to do to make sure that I could sell this bag in the future. And that was me, who was on a single income. Yes, I was in a relationship, but I wasn't married. I was relying on my own money and I didn't have a lot of luxury bags. And so I tell you that because it's not me speaking with 30 odd bags in my collection saying, oh yeah, go buy a really delicate bag and don't care if you wreck it. Now, of course, I took good care of this bag because it's a Chanel bag, but it doesn't mean that I didn't wear it. And I think that a bag that is worn and loved is much more valuable and is much more important to spend your money on than something that sits on the shelf that you think, oh, I probably won't take that because someone will bump into me. I probably won't take that because I'm not sure where I can set it down. I probably won't take that because I'm worried about the rain. I mean, you know, life's too short for that. I say step into your comfort zone. The things that you are drawn to, you're drawn to for a reason. That's how we work as humans. That's our psychology. My own personal experience was I thought, you know, of all the classics that I would be drawn to the reissue the most because it's quite edgy, kind of like this bag. And I was in Barcelona in Chanel. I finally got a sales associate. And the tax refunds in Barcelona are great. It's like 14% or something on values over $8,000 or something like that. So I didn't even bother looking at the bags that I would normally look at. I just looked at classics, and there were 2. A small classic flap and a reissue. And I bought the reissue and I never used it. And I sold it. And I wouldn't have used the small classic flap either because I subsequently bought one of those and I sold it too. And I bought them because I thought they were responsible. I thought that's the time to buy one when you can get a decent discount with your tax. And what I really should have bought as a memento from that holiday was a bag that I loved. It was a bag that said something to me that reminded me of a great 3 weeks in Spain. But instead, I bought a classic. Something that someone else might love or that I thought I should love and that I sold. And not that I'm sentimental, but I think that's an opportunity wasted. One of the other reasons that people said was preventing them from stepping into their comfort zone rather than out of their comfort zone was the fact that trend or seasonal bags can become outdated and end up being pushed into the back of the closet, and that's money down the drain. Look, it's possible, right? I mean, look at the resurgence of the Fendi baguette, for example. Now, if I'd have seen somebody before, say, 2020 wearing a Fendi baguette, would I have pointed it out and said, oh, that's, you know, they're not really in style? No, and I don't think most of you would either, because most of us aren't a fashion influencer who is making up the rules. Most of us are buying things that we love and we wear them season after season and we love them, and we pick new bits from new seasons and they become this eclectic mix of what becomes our actual style and what our wardrobe contains. If you want to work around on this one, then potentially you can do the classics with a twist. Now, personally, that's one of the things that I love to do, is I have quite a few bags in my collection, and I'll link the video up here, which I would consider as a classic with a twist, which they are a classic style, but the twist is there's some kind of design element that's different, or it's a different colour, or it's a limited edition, or it's a collaboration, something like that, that makes it, you know, really connect and speak to you, and it's of the moment, and it's not something that's quite uniform that you feel, isn't really you. Because remember, you're wanting to step into your comfort zone. So how do you kind of go with your gut and feel comfortable that you're making a wise decision to spend X amount of money, but also get the thrill of something that's really you instead of something that's not? So a couple of examples just to make the point is my Chanel denim flap. This one, to me, I have not been backward in saying I'm not a huge fan of the Chanel classic flap for a bunch of reasons, but this, for all intents and purpose, is a Chanel classic flap, but it's in denim with silver hardware and it's fabric, and I love it. And I think that this is timeless. Similarly, the Louis Vuitton Neverfull, I got mine in the world tour. I got it for work. Mine, has a few different little prints on it here and there. But the Neverfull is classic. And the black just means it's much lower maintenance. And that's the little twist. So if you want to make sensible decisions, but you also want to go with your gut, then I think classics with a twist are a great way to do it. I think at the end of the day, finances and money are very, very personal things. How we spend it, what we spend it on, and how we justify that to ourselves, they're all very personal things. But what I think would be really sad or an opportunity lost is for every one of the people who were in my comments and said that I'd encourage them to step out of their comfort zone, which I actually think is into their comfort zone. I think they've got an equivalent number of people who want to do the same thing, but they're just worried. They're just concerned and worried about how to do that with limited funds. So I hope that this has given you some kind of incentive to see things in a slightly different way, that money's money, and spending is spending, and once it's gone, it's gone. And so if you're going to spend it and make the assumption that you're not going to get anything back for that spending, you're going to make wiser decisions first and foremost. You're going to make purchases that truly make you smile. You're going to have bags that are in your favourite styles, by your favourite houses, in your favourite colours. And you're going to enjoy the experience that is luxury, which is wearing, using and enjoying these pieces, these things. They're just things. There's nothing else in my house that I expect is going to return the same value that I paid for it or more, besides bags. Like, how absurd is that? So give yourself a break, step into your comfort zone and enjoy the things that you're spending your money on. And the more of us I feel that can do that, the more exciting the conversations will be, the more fulfilled we will feel, the more confident we will be. The more of us that are being our true, authentic selves, making decisions that reflect our personal style, I think that just kind of, I think the effect of that is really, really positive, and then more and more people can feel more comfortable to step into their comfort zone and buy what they like. And imagine how rich the conversations would be if we were all just ourselves and not trying to be everyone else. Anyway, I think my throat's about to give up on me. Oh, it's very lemony now. But thank you so much for sticking with me. Hopefully next time I talk to you, my voice is a little bit better and there are less coughing fits interrupting us. But tell me what you think. Do you think you're stepping into your comfort zone, or do you think you're stepping out of your comfort zone when you go towards things that you love? I put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. If you've liked this one, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.